Alright, so for a while I've been trying to raise my CP before doing this, just so I knew everything about it. And here it is, how to get high CP in Grand Cross. I've been playing the game for 2 months, and I think this is my highest CP I have. I think. I could be wrong, because every time I try to get a higher one, I end up getting a little bit higher. But some people say if you just click here, it will actually give you a higher CP, but that's incorrect. But this is my highest CP currently. I'm trying to get at least 170 by the end of December. I can get it easily, actually. I just need more equipment. But how do you get high CP? So, what is CP? CP is actually the number of combat power that each individual character has. You can know, kind of, more or less, your CP, because the CP number is sort of all of your stats combined divided by 3. It's roughly that. Roughly. Not exactly. But the reason why it actually diverges is because your ult level also makes a difference. Every ult level that you have increases your CP by 400. So if you have a character 6'6", he is getting extra 400 6 times. A character begins with 1.6, so he gets the extra 400. I assume he gets the extra 400, I think, as just stamped on him. But if you have extra ult level, your character increases your CP 400 for each ult level. That's actually a very important to note. But of course, in the grand scheme of things, 400 doesn't make that big of a difference because here I have 43,000, right? But, well, actually, I think my other D'Amelio is more CP, but it doesn't matter. How do you get your CP higher? So, of course, you need to increase your stats, and that's pretty much all of it. But, of course, how do you increase your stats? That's the big deal. Of course, getting your characters level 80 is very important. What is it? The level cap right now is 80, so I can't even have the option to awaken him again. Level cap right now is 80, so if you're watching this video on a later date and increase the level cap, the highest level cap is the one that you want to get for the highest CP. Of course, you want to get them to 6'6", in the star system as well. Each star gives you extra stats, that being attack, defense, HP, and so on and so forth. Be note that crit damage, stuff like that, doesn't increase your CP. Which means that the next thing that also increases your CP the most out of everything is gear. Gear is where your CP lies, because gear is the thing giving you stats. Like right now, if I change this gear, this is my best gear I have. Let me put this terrible gear I have right here. Look at the drop in my CP. I dropped from 43,000 to 30,000. It's a big difference. Gear is your biggest thing. So, how do you want to maximize your stats with gear? You want to roll everything as stats. In gear, you have multiple stuff. Let me actually open up the tab, because of course it is on Japanese, so let me actually open up the tab here. So this is kind of a guide for gear. You want to have gear that either goes for attack, defense, or HP. Of course you cannot have all three of them, right? You have to either choose HP and defense, or attack and defense. It depends on what character you're using. A lot of people use HP and defense for CP, just because, as I said, your combat power is all three of your stats combined, and if I show you right here, you see the difference of HP in comparison to the other numbers, right? You can have such a high number with HP, like, I am working on getting these gears maxed out because I want a higher CP. If you, like, percentage means so much when your number is so high. So, of course, if I maximize my HP compared to maximizing my attack, I can get way more CP because my stats are going to be way higher, going to be way more overflowing. So if you just want pure CP, HP is the way. But of course, the game is not only balanced on HP, but coming back here. Gear stats. Every gear has a different... Oh, by the way, I'm going to link this in the description, just so if you want to have the bookmarks, just so you remember. Every gear has different sorts of stats on it. You always know that bracers and rings give you attack-related stats. Attack, penetration, crit rate, crit damage. I already have it memorized what kanji is for each. Some people might take a little longer to remember. You can just know. I know the attack, of course, is this one. So the one that ends with this symbol, so I always know, oh, this is the one that's rolled, it's attack. Defense also ends with this symbol, and HP just says HP, so it's very easy to actually remember. It's just good to know the stats. I actually memorized because it's very different. The kanjis are very different. Penetration is a little different in attack. Nowadays, penetration is not rolled for 1-3, so you know penetration rolls for way higher. And crit rate and crit damage also doesn't roll for 1-3. Attack is the only one in attack that rolls for a maximum of 3%. So it's good to just know that as well. But nonetheless, if you can remember the kanji, it's very good for rerolling gear. But just know that if you're rerolling gear, lots of times people are like, man, I'm gonna give him extra crit damage because that's gonna make his crit so much stronger. And yeah, but if you give him attack, his crit damage is also gonna be stronger because he's gonna be stronger overall. So it's just good to note. Most of the time, you want to give your units just solid stats for their CP to be increased. And you want to have high CP just so you can start the matches, right? You want to go first. And in super bosses, man, I was a new player when Super Boss Gopher came out, and I never was able to out CP him, and it was just so bad. But now if he comes back, I can actually do work on him. But again, just want to roll for raw stats. And of course, if you're rolling, of course, the higher rarity of the gear gives you more stats in here, but the percentages are the same. And again, when we're talking about percentages, it's so much more than just raw stats, right? Let me give you an example. Look at how much stats my Escanor has. It has just a little less than Meliodas, but look at Escanor's gear. Escanor's gear has rare. He has rare gear. The reason for that is because rare gear, you can still reroll it with gold, right? If I wanted to reroll it, I can still reroll it with gold. But SSR and SR gear, if I want to reroll it, I have to use gems. And I don't want to use gems, right? So for most of your characters, you want to have C, UC, and R gear in the right side. Reason for the right side is because the right side gear gives less raw stats than the left side gear. If you want to just go full in rare, but you want to upgrade everything, that's also cool. Just as a beginner player, that's really good. Because again, percentage matters. Percentage matters more than just raw stats. So if you cannot get a full SSR max gear, because also leveling up SSR gear can be pricey. Like right now, I can't really awaken SSR gear because I don't have any SSR gear material because I used it all. And UC, and C, it's so much easier to just level up. So you want to have your right side full of C, UC or R gear, and your left side, if you can, have SSR gear. But again, rolling for raw stats. I think, yeah, it's all raw stats in here. My other gear that I have my other character, unfortunately, is not full raw stats because I'm still working on it. So again, I still have room to improve. I still have. Like, this HP gear is okay. Like, this gear is not leveled up at all. Again, I can't awaken it because I don't have any material for awakening. But I still have a lot of room to improve. My other gear on the end right here, it's pretty bad. Like, yeah, it has... it's not bad, but the right side is not even leveled up. I need to work on this. I'm gonna work on this actually after I record this video. But again, your gear is your best friend for your CP. And again, just level up your gear and give them raw stats. You don't want to give your units like crit damage, crit chance. That's not going to improve your CP. Other things to improve your CP. I know I took a long time with gear, but there's other things still. Your support character matters a ton. Let's say, right, I have these 3 units are SR units, right? Why am I using SR units instead of using units that are summoned as SSR instead of units that are summoned as SR? There's a big thing, which is the alt level. The ultimate level of your support backhand characters actually matters. A unit with 6/6 maxed alt level gives way more stats than a unit that is not. Let me give you an example. Gilthunder is an SR, right? So you would think he would give less stats than Merlin. Incorrect. Merlin gives less stats than Gilthunder. That's because Merlin is not 6/6, even though Merlin would be a better support character for my Meliodas because she does give extra stats for being his fate partner. Gilthunder is a better support because he gives more stats. That's very important, and that's why you'll see a lot of people using SR units as their backhand characters. You can see I'm using 3. The only reason I'm using Gila, which is a natural SSR character, is because she was a free-to-play unit, and we were giving her all her dupes, so she is 6/6. And also, the gear on your back characters matters as well. So, someone that has a full 8 god tier gear sets for like every single character they have is gonna have insane CP. That's just how it is. Like if you go in PvP and you see the top ranks, all the people on the top ranks have all the units in their team, even the ones in the back, just full 6/6 and full like raw stats gear. Except for the recent meta that you put a Lilia of penetration instead of attack, but it's different. In general, you just want to give them raw stats for the gear. You want to give them attack, defense, HP. You don't want to give anything else. You don't want to give HP regen. That's just trash. You want to give HP. So that's pretty much it. Again, the backhand characters being 6/6. And again, it can be SRs. You want to have, in general, SSRs because SSRs have better base stats. So that's when the base stats actually come in hand. So if you, like, that's why I actually got Gila to 80, although it was not that great of an investment as a unit. As a unit in the back, she's really good because, again, like if I put a Hauser, which has higher stats, he gives less. He just gives way less. Look at the drop. Look at the drop in attack even. So, just leveling up SRs that are 6/6 is really good. One that I really advise is Elizabeth and Hawk. She has insane raw stats even for an SR. Is actually really good. But if you have like Escanor 6/6 and you put him in the back of someone, he's giving a lot of stats. He's giving a lot of stats. Of course, if you want to just go for the raw CP on your team, Escanor being in the team is good, but if you need like a full mono red team, of course you can just use Escanor if you have him 6/6 as a support unit, and he's gonna give insane stats. So, of course, giving dupes to characters that you summon instead of using them in the coin shop is very helpful for that. Like I have Helbram here. I've been using Helbram as a coin. I'm sorry, as a dupe, not as a coin. I want to 6/6 him so I can have him as stats for my king or for whoever it is in my team. That's really good. And I think that's it. As I said, alt level. Oh, I'm sorry. There's one more thing. It's kind of minor though. The outfits also give you CP, but it's only because they actually give you extra stats. So let's say I have the swords, right? I want to use the best sword so I get extra attack, because the attack goes in my stats and the stats give more CP. So that's also a way of getting extra stats, extra CP, is with outfits. But again, it's not nearly as major as anything else I just said. Like the backhand characters supporting being 6/6 is huge, and the character itself having extra ult level is really good as well. But the gear is the biggest thing. And again, you want to roll gear for extra attack, defense, and HP. You don't want to roll gear for anything else. You don't need full UR gear. I showed. Like the other character, the Escanor, he had almost the same stat as Meliodas. Meliodas is a full UR gear. You just need to roll percentages really nice. So just have your right side full like R, UC or C, whatever you can. As a new player, it's kind of difficult to just upgrade every gear and re-roll gear as well. Re-rolling gear is a big deal. That's why you see a lot of C, because C re-rolling is very cheap, right? It's only 5,000 gold. So that's why I have right here just the backhand. Like if I switch this, my attack is gonna drop like what? 1,000. It's a big jump just because of the sheer difference, right? This is a UR gear, but just 1,000, just 1,000. Like look at it. This being comparison is way more difficult to have this gear than having this gear, you know? But yeah, that's a big understanding of how to improve CP. Any more other things is just you play the game and you learn. You just play the game and you learn, and just go for having raw stats in gear. Because I see people using like crit damage. No, you want to have attack, okay? You want to have attack, okay, buddy? Alright, thanks for watching.